I will be forever the myth.
You're the king of kings,
There's always a pecking order. The little packers never mess with the big packers. So I'm a rooster, and he's a chicken, so to speak.
Known as a wife.
Yeah, but see, he's a single man.
I'm single too, yeah.
Dude, that's why you're still looking so damn good.
Right. No stress, Larry.
I didn't see any gray hairs, do I?
Yeah, they're there. They're there.
I love hearing the Chicago accent, man.
It's still there, huh? I still got it.
When's the last time you interviewed 3 Chicago people? Maybe, well, probably for you.
I'm trying to think of when I interviewed you guys. It had to be like 2 years ago, right? At least 2 years ago.
Probably took you too long to get to us, but we won't go there.
I did one which I think was about probably 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was about the same. I don't know.
And I don't know if we're at my house, John, before that or after that.
I think it was after, right?
That was a good day too. We should have got that.
Yeah. That was that 2019, Glenn? Like 2 years ago?
Yeah, it's probably
before the COVID thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So time flies, man. Holy cow.
Can we pour you one, John? It's our first one. I swear. We're not like hammered or nothing.
All right. What are you guys drinking? Beer?
Blue Moon. I just got here myself.
Okay.
Yeah. He's not lying. It is our first beer.
Are you out there visiting, Glenn?
Yeah, John, I got 2 daughters here, 3 grandkids here, and I got 2 brothers and a sister here.
Oh, wow. You got a lot.
And my cousin and my ex-wife. So, I'm loaded up. I got here in February, and I'm probably not going home till I can open up that pool where we were in New York.
Right.
May 1st or something.
Yeah. How's the weather out there? Good?
It's supposed to warm up starting tomorrow. It's good. Yeah, it's always good here.
Yeah.
But like today's probably early or
it's only about 65 right now. It's a little chilly.
Yeah.
It's like you guys though, right?
Yeah, it's like 80 out here still, man. It's hot.
Is it?
It's hot already, yeah.
We'll get in the 80s and 90s by the end of next week.
Okay. All right.
And now next week for Easter, I got all my other kids are coming here too.
Okay.
So everybody will be here.
Cool. Great.
6 grandkids.
Awesome.
I'm actually cruising around in my ex-wife's car because I dropped her at the airport. She went to Florida.
Okay.
Went to Chicago, so I got another week with the car.
Dude, I hope so.
So I'm like, all right, Larry, I got a car. We can do whatever, man.
This is funny as hell. I haven't seen him in 40 years. We get together 2 weeks ago. Now we're getting together again.
Yeah.
John, you set us up, dude. I didn't know we had to go get a pump on before this interview. You came looking all jacked and shit. And now we're sitting there all like having worked out and man. All right.
You look good.
Well done, well played.
So how long, John, you been in Florida? For a while, right?
10 years.
Wow.
10 years. I came in 2010.
Straight from Chicago?
Yeah. I can't believe it's been 10 years, man. Unbelievable.
Time goes so quick, man.
The older you get, the faster it goes.
You're looking any different, man. You're posting all these shots. You're looking the same. I was like, Glenn.
We're trying to figure out how you can keep grinding away with that heavy weight, man.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. Because I've had back problems for like 20 years, but I can still do it.
Else?
Huh?
Now, you had any surgeries yet?
I just had a hernia surgery last year.
I knew that, but I mean with the back.
No, I don't want to get any back surgeries because I heard that just fucks you up, right?
But it does to you.
Yeah.
Look what happened. Look at his ass. Yeah, don't go there, bro.
I know. I don't want to get that.
Like 15 years ago and never been quite the same, but I was still at that time working every day, even working out a little bit, just to have fun.
Right.
But then 5 years ago, the right hip, and 2 or 3 months later, I had to get the neck fused, like an emergency deal.
Oh, really? No shit.
Yeah, and then I did have 2 hernias repaired probably a year or 2 ago.
Where were they, Glenn?
One groin, one abdominal.
Okay. Yeah.
And those were nothing compared to this damn hip. The hip screwed me. Right after the hip, it's kind of never the same. My neck went 2 or 3 months later, and
damn.
now my other hip's starting to bother me. It sucks.
Man,
So did they do a hip replacement?
Yeah.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Full replacement on the right side, and I'm kind of thinking now I'm probably due for the left side.
Right.
That's how bad it is.
Wow.
you know, John, I didn't feel so bad when Glenn was sitting over there. I was so happy for that. I always feel like we're in like a lineup in the freaking prejudge. He's all freaking still weighing like all that 200 or something. I don't know.
Way
I'm
too
like,
much.
I'm like, wait a minute. My class doesn't come out for another hour, bro. So you guys just go ahead. I'll be right back and go lift a little bit.
Right.
Shoot. It's so funny.
I wish I could keep some weight off. My whole life I try to gain weight.
Right.
Then you get done competing, and like now you try to lose it.
Right.
At least for me, anyway.
I know. Yeah, your metabolism totally changes. Right.
Every couple of years, I eat real good and I lose a bunch, and then it slowly comes back. It's just too hard to keep it off. I'm like, I want to have fun for part of my life too, you know.
Right. But you got the Chicago winters too, Glenn, so it's hard, you know.
Well, that's why I got the hell out of there.
Right.
Yeah, I'm hoping to spend my winters here, you know.
Oh, yeah?
I basically have been the last couple of years.
Okay.
But I'm hoping to get maybe a small place and just stay here for 4 or 5 months.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great.
Everyone flees Chicago, it seems like.
I know, especially now. Everybody's leaving.
I feel like a traitor because it's such an awesome place to grow up.
It is, yeah.
But, you know, maybe it's getting a little older. You kind of understand that whole migration to, we're going to Florida, honey. We're going to retire.
Right? No, I still have one son at home. You met him, John.
Yeah.
If he gets married or something like that, then I don't know. It's hard for me to move here permanently because I still got more kids in Chicago than only 2 here and 3 there. So.
And he knows he'll have my physique out here, always haunting. Yeah, 150, whatever. Struggling to just keep that up, man.
I have to go back to eating salads every day to catch this guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Here we go. Is that powerhouse you go to over there? Like, is that like pretty old school, hardcore?
Yeah, it's a really huge gym, and it's a lot of good equipment. It's pretty hardcore, you know.
Yeah.
Not like the old days, but I mean, you got all kinds of people in there. You know, you got regular people and a lot of power lifters, though. You know, so it's pretty hardcore.
What made me think about it is a good friend of my son's who's all into it like we are. You know, they're like 23. He just went to Chicago. I go, dude, you got to go to Quads. So we went there. There's nothing like our old school gyms, right?
Right. They don't exist.
Like, yeah, he came back. He goes, oh, we got to talk, man. We need to open something. I'm like, good luck with that one, right? That's what I was wondering where you were going. If it was pretty hardcore-ish. I don't know.
Yeah, well, they had one downtown Tampa when I first came out here to see it. You know, like when I first visited Tampa, and it was a great gym, like a real good atmosphere, like a lot of hardcore people in there. And the owner took me and my friend around, showed us around. He gave us a membership, gave us a free membership, and I didn't even live there. So I said, "Fuck, I'm moving to Tampa." I moved for the gym.
Well, right? You probably want dudes, you know, hardcore dudes to keep it going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see all these posts like on Facebook from like, you know, Pasquale's gym or Walter O'Malley's and all that stuff. I'm like, is that still existing out here anywhere? I mean, outside of Hoppy's, right?
Well, Hoppy's was great at the time, but after 10 years, every corner opened up a fitness club or gym. They had all the stuff I had to offer, plus way more. All the cardio, the bikes, the treadmills, ellipticals, and then they got pools and saunas. And I'm like, I want to go back to work and come home every day. I was basically done with competing. Yeah. So like, I really thought I got no problem just giving the gym business up and going to work, you know, and coming home.
Yeah.
I had 2 kids. I wanted to have more kids, and just I was there so much, 24/7, cleaning, fixing, training people, trying to work out yourself.
Yeah.
My days it was great because I was doing what I wanted to do, but long days.
Oh, yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah, because I didn't really have too many working for me. Cousin and brother hanging out, but they just wanted to hang with me. They didn't want to work for me, you know. It was nuts.
What I was gonna ask you something, John. I was like, so what was this picture you posted the other day? That's John Gust and Woo! I was like, man,
Hammer's gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a hardcore, good club.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you trained there, right, Glenn? You trained there for a while.
I trained at Hammers all the time, and then my buddy turned it into Delt's gym, or was Delt's first?
Delt's first, yeah. Then it was
Delt's
Hammers.
first, and then Hammers.
Yeah.
And mostly, those guys got me started. When I opened up Poppy's gym, they built all my equipment: squat racks, inclines, benches, weight racks.
Wow.
Stuff I brought from Chicago to here in Phoenix. And then the only stuff I bought was in California.
Mm-hmm.
And only one piece of equipment I bought was a cable crossover here in Phoenix.
Okay.
Which was a very good one. And then a couple storage lockers some random people had for sale. And I kept what I needed. I donated the rest to the high school.
Yeah.
But, I got off to a good start at a very reasonable price because my friends wanted me to succeed. My buddy like Catula was saying, dude, just take the stuff, and a dime on a dollar or whatever the hell that saying is.
Right.
He wanted me to open a gym, you know what I mean? So they took care of me. And then Hammers that built all my stuff, they give me the best price they can give me. So I got into it, and I had family helping me anyway.
But you built it in Chicago and shipped it out?
I drove it out with the biggest U-Haul and the biggest trailer. No. Yeah, shit was jammed from top to bottom. I mean, I couldn't imagine by the time we got to Phoenix, I forget what it was, something on the trailer, maybe the hitch or something was falling apart. I mean, we had that shit loaded with tons and tons of steel. I'm surprised it even made it.
I don't think transporting the gym.
That was when U-Haul had all those old ass trucks.
Okay.
Not too bad. You see a lot of good shit out there, but I'm surprised it made it. It's nuts, man. Yeah, I miss those Chicago Ridge days when we used to hang out.
Yeah, me too, man.
John would see me come in with flip-flops and smoke like a joint. I'm like, okay, well, that's what I like to do. You know what I mean?
That was the pre-workout?
So nowadays it was. Because I worked on the railroad. So when I got done with the railroad, I had to get a different attitude change.
Oh, hell yeah.
And call me what you want.
It worked, dude. Hey,
it worked.
You went to freaking America, dude. Like, apparently it's a good plan. You should put that in some magazines.
Yeah, we'll leave that out, John.
It's legal, bro. It's legal.
No, that's all right.
Now, well, my kids are like, oh, we should go to the dispensary or I'm like, to me, this shit ain't fun no more because nobody gets mad if I smoke. I can't get arrested and go to jail. So what fun is it? It's like my father.
Right.
No, you know what's funny though? There was a couple dudes at the old Quads gym. You'd see them in their car, and it was just the windows up.
No, that was me and Schroeder. That was probably me and Joe.
Probably another two guys and talking about their Quads. They come in, to the bejesus, but they got workouts on, man. Crazy. Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. It's like
I brought a couple younger guys, with me, just a couple years younger than me from the neighborhood or the gyms or school, and they'd be like, "Just really, they didn't even want to get out of the car.
They just enjoy toking up in the parking lot.
They were like, there's no way this guy's going to train. The guy drove from Chicago Ridge to Quads.
Yeah.
All right, come on, dude. This is what we do. Yeah, good times.
That's what bummed me out the most. Looking back, it's like, I wish I'd went to Hammers and trained with you guys more. I never really went over. I went over to train with Gus like once or twice. I don't think I ever went over there.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing you with Gus a couple times.
Who was that guy that owned it? Dave something, wasn't it?
Dave and Jerry, yeah.
Yeah, Dave and Jerry.
Okay, because I remember them, and then
they built a lot of good stuff, man.
They built all this.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a guy at Quads who built a lot of them. That's what's funny. It was all homemade, man.
Yeah.
Butlers and.
Well, as far as the benches, the inclines, the squat racks, I've never seen anything better.
Right.
I mean, I was like, okay, this is what I have to have there. All the weight racks, this and that, dumbbell racks.
Yeah.
Then like I said, I forget where I got a couple Nautilus machines, maybe from Delt's gym or whatever they had. I took.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did buy a bunch of shit from. He was actually a friend of Ira Hurley's, John.
Oh, really?
That's a name you don't hear every day.
Right? I don't know if you're familiar with. At the time, I want to say he was an AAU chairman in California.
Okay.
Jack Glennis.
Oh yeah, I've heard the name. Yeah.
I mean, he's gone now and stuff, but he was really a good guy that Ira hooked me up with.
Mm-hmm.
Totally happy to meet him. He sold me everything I wanted. I want to say I think I spent 20 grand over there in one day for the machines I wanted.
Right.
Which back then they weren't that expensive,
Yeah.
He had one machine, was a hack squat machine that I was like, okay, the only thing he didn't want to give me. And I'm like, Jack, this is my favorite piece in your whole fucking place. He was training somebody for the Mr. California, and he had the pin set, so the kid trying to bring out some lines in the top, he would only go certain distance up and down. And so I said, okay, I'll tell you what, Jack. I took everything that I wanted, or everything I wanted. What do you want for the machine? I'll write you a check right now. And when you're done training with this kid for California, send it to me.
Okay.
He shipped that one piece to my gym. I forget if it was weeks or months, but I did wind up with that hack squat machine, which was probably one of my favorite pieces of all equipment I ever owned,
Yeah. What was
I'm in love with that hack squat, man.
Who was the manufacturer, Glenn? Do you remember?
I don't, John, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Too long ago. I just don't recall.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I got a question for you, John, because I look at you now as like the guru of freaking body. You know probably more about bodybuilding history. You've interviewed more people, done more, interviewing all the magazine guys. But I just wondered if this still kind of exists, because we're talking about hammers, talking about quads.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you remember when the shows went on? It was kind of like a competition. Which gym? Gym would show up hoping your dude would win.
Yeah.
It was like someone won. It was like all of a sudden that gym kind of like got picked up a notch. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah. Yeah. You had hammers, you had quads, you had 95th Street Health Club, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot do we bring the Grove in there too? Because wasn't the Grove where Rhodey?
Yeah. And then Rockford had their own people, right?
Champions.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to get Mike was it Mike? What was his last? Mike, I used to talk to him all the time. He owned the gym in Rockford. You know what I'm talking about? He didn't compete, but he owned it.
Oh, he didn't compete.
He's a good dude.
Oh, you mean
not Kevin Noble. He was
I was going to say Kevin
he was
Noble.
A promoter. It was Mike something. I forgot about the gym. I shouldn't have forgot it because you had Belknap and Munson and
fuck.
Jeff Prim.
Rockford would like produce some unbelievable guys every year. Like every year there was somebody new from Rockford, right?
Yeah, it was a tough place.
Tony Purvis, remember him? Tony Purvis. Was he from Rockford?
He must have been a younger dude. We're a little bit older than you, John. I'm just saying. See, and I see you look younger and all that. Appreciate you going old school. Going geriatric over here and making the interview before our bedtime. It is almost 6. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember I think it was the first contest I entered, where they would say, "Oh, the next contestant from Quad's gym, and the next guy trains at home," which was me. Yeah. I was still training in the basement. People are like, "Home? Where's Home's gym?" Oh, this guy trains in home.
They probably meant, I thought they said Homie's gym. And Homie's on the house. No, Homie.
Yeah, probably to Junior Illinois in '77, and shortly after that, I'm like, okay, I just needed more stuff and needed to get out of the house,
Right.
Dude, so that was good stuff.
So the funny thing is, and I'm glad we're doing this now, John, because Glenn and I hooked up a couple weeks back and talked and caught up and shit. But one question I didn't ask him when he was cleaning up in all the teenage shows, and I was like taking last place or like barely even like, did you even know me before?
I knew him when he beat me at the Teenage
That's
Illinois.
The only time. That's the only.
How much more do I need to know?
No, no, dude, everyone knew who you were because you were, you had your shit. I was like, dude, you even knew who he dude was. It's like, who's this little shithead beats me at the Teenage Illinois? That's what I was thinking. Like, you didn't even know who existed, right? Not that it matters.
So when you guys were teenagers, Glenn was beating you all the time, and then you beat him at the Teenage Illinois?
He won. Matter of fact, what did you tell me, remember?
That was the only teenage show I lost that I couldn't come back to win.
Because you were 19.
Because I was 19.
And it was the only show I freaking won. My first win, yeah. All the other shows, I was like, that's what I told Glenn. I even said when we talked last time, I go, I don't know who was surprised that I won that show more, him or me. You know what I mean?
Right.
You won shows, and it's like,
Yeah.
see, Glenn was winning all the stuff. So that's what I meant to ask last time we were together. Like, did you ever even see me before?
Are you older, Glenn?
I'm 61. Larry's.
I'm 61. I know I look way younger. Probably about like 16 when I won that show, right? Yeah, you're loving this because you're just still the puppy over there.
Yeah, right.
What are you doing another show, dude?
Huh?
Are you gonna do any more shows?
No, I don't think so. I did one 2016, so it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, but see, once you get 60.
Yeah, I know. I might do a show at 60. Yeah, I don't know.
How old are you now, John?
58. I just turned 58. Yeah.
You know the funny thing, talking about shows and turning 60 and all that. I might have shared this with you last time we were. I remember when we were doing the shows, we're all that and 20-ish and stuff.
Yeah.
When it was 60 and over, I remember that's when I'd say to my buddy, "Come on, let's go get a popcorn or something." He wants to watch the 60, right? And now I'm like, dude, how many guys are doing the 60? Is that a big category at all, or
at the national level? Yeah. I mean, they look like they're 45, man. They're huge.
How are they pulling that off, bro?
I don't know. There's a lot of them.
Maybe they started later, John, or something. Or what do you think?
I think it's the guys from our era, but they're just still doing it.
Like you, man.
Glenn and I say for you guys that can still pump that iron.
Yeah.
I wish I could. I wish I didn't have aches and pains and I could still do it.
Yeah.
I love the feeling of it, but every 6-7 months I used to just try little tiny weights, push downs, pull down, and everything goes right to my neck that was fused. And it's like, just tell me you're done. Don't touch your shit.
Yeah.
I finally said, all right, I think it's somebody's telling me, dude, you don't need to do this no more.
Right.
You think like a Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
As he is, I was seeing some stuff today on Facebook, going through the house with, canes and struggling to get through the kitchen and getting in and out of the car. And that I could see because I'm almost there.
Yeah.
Can't see going to the gym and still trying to lift.
Right.
Like
he's doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. He still goes in there.
I know.
Still forcing himself.
Yeah.
He ain't forcing himself, but
it's a hard habit to break, man. You right?
Well, it can't feel good on that fucked up, broken down body.
No, I know.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
You never know, like when you're gonna find yourself under some perfect light, and all of a sudden you want to start posing.
But you could tell he's had neck problems, Glenn, because like the atrophy in his triceps and stuff. I think that comes from your neck.
Yeah, John, I have no triceps left.
Really? Wow.
For me, the hardest thing is to get off this fucking chair and lift myself up.
Right.
Like, I sit here and I'm like, right now I don't feel too bad sitting down. I'm good.
Yeah.
I've been riding a bike every day.
Okay.
And that's the only thing I could really do that doesn't hurt. So today I got off, left the bike. I go around this big pond here in Gilbert, Arizona. And I thought, let me try to walk one. John, I walk, 50 feet, 100 feet. And I'm like, man, I can't walk. Let me get back on my bike and do a few more laps.
Yeah.
But just standing up, like using my hands to get in and out of the car.
Yeah.
Hey, once in a while, I still get lucky with a girlfriend. Getting my hands up and down to move around in the bed, dude. I'm fucked up. I'm like,
no shit.
It's hard for me just to maneuver in my bed one way or the other.
So it's all from the neck, right, Glenn?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn.
But my neck was, I fucked up my neck at work and got some treatment. They gave me a bunch of shit to take and just rest. And then I wind up long story, fucked up my hip at work. Now I'm off. I never went back to work. And all of a sudden, my neck goes out, totally out. And I had to get it fused by the end of the week.
Wow.
So, I mean, it was so fucking bad, I could barely doze off. And finally, like, well, we'll get you in Saturday for an emergency. Now, the neck's not bad, but the triceps and all the nerve damage.
Right.
I got a spinal cord stimulator last year or the year before, and that takes a little bit of that pain away, but not enough. You know?
Yeah.
It just sucks. My my hands trying to raise myself up is the worst damn thing.
Good trainer, bro.
Yeah, I need somebody.
How you doing, Larry? You got any injuries?
Well,
No, he looks like $1 million bucks.
No,
Man.
yeah. No, the stuff that put me out of, like we were talking earlier, I'd still love to be doing it. My shoulders they should both be replaced, but I'm like,
Really?
I can't go there, man. I can't go there.
Yeah.
No, my deal was, I hate to say it, was, I think I shared with you a little bit. So why we're doing this interview thing 2 weeks later was my deal with COVID. And
Oh yeah, you got COVID. That's right.
knocking my ass out. And then I had a reaction to my first shot that took me out again. It was crazy. It was crazy.
You got COVID first, and then you got the vaccine, and the vaccine knocked you out too.
I'll make a long story short. I had COVID. I mean, I had it really pretty bad. Lost 10 pounds, chills,
Wow.
fever, all the symptoms and stuff. My wife's an ICU nurse, so she was right there taking care of me.
Yeah.
Covered. I'm like, okay, I could get my shot. The freaking shot put me in the hospital. I got my first shot, and I had a bad reaction, and they took EKG, and my it didn't look good. So like, let's just monitor this. I'm like, how messed up is that, right?
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it just, my shoulders are messed up. So that's why I feel bad not being able to lift like I used to.
Mhm.
But I'm into mountain biking now, and just being, finding a nice balance and
Yeah.
trying to ride it out as long as I can. So, my triceps are okay when I try to get lucky. I like how he clarified when I get lucky with my girlfriend. He had to say like we might have thought something.
Oh man, I just didn't want you guys to think just because my ex-wife gave me the car,
Oh no.
No, we're friends now, I guess. But hey,
But that's the thing. I talking to Glenn, and then I being in touch with Jeff King. The old little buddies, and he's going through a whole bunch of hip and.
Is he? Wow.
Oh yeah, he can hardly walk as well, and
Damn.
he's such a good dude. And he's in he's in medical field as well as a cop.
He's in the medical field too?
Yeah. I forget exactly what he does in it, but I know
He a chiropractor? Was he a chiropractor?
he was studying a bit, but I don't think he finished. I hate to say I don't know 100%, but he's in some like a clinic or something. He works with patients. And then I know he works as a police officer as well. Because I think when you interviewed him, he was on the side of the road.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say when I interviewed him, he was working.
Yeah.
He was in a squad car.
Yeah. I still think it's funny, man. You think Ronnie Coleman was a cop, right?
Yeah.
And then we got Sergio Oliva was a
Sergio, dude.
Okay, you never have to pull your gun. You just get out of the car and people just like,
Right.
off me, man.
I'll tell you what, when I seen Sergio the first time when I was working on the railroad, 17 years old, I knew he was in this Rogers Park area. So I'm walking up and down during lunch. Man, I better just grab a sandwich. I got to get back to work. And I'll be damned if I don't walk into a deli where he's sitting. And this dude got 2 submarine sandwiches, a sack of bananas, about 6 bananas or 4 or 5, whatever, 2 Coca-Colas. And when I seen him, and I talked about it when I got home, 10 o'clock. Now I get home at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock from work.
What was he wearing, Glenn, when you saw him?
Full dress uniform.
Oh, in copy uniform. Okay.
Oh yeah, he was on duty.
Yeah.
So, but he had all those gold chains on with the gold bracelets on duty.
the big medallion too.
Yeah, everything.
Oh, yeah.
All that gold, and he's on duty. And he had the short sleeves, but he had that V cut in.
Yeah. So his arms.
I mean, I've never seen another human being more impressive in my life.
Right.
From that day, and I seen a whole bunch of them.
Everybody, yeah.
Just in person, it's so hard to describe.
I know.
I know where he got that myth shit from, because that dude is nuts looking when I seen him, man.
Especially back then.
I seen him when he got sick and old.
Oh.
But back in the day, there was nobody like that.
Yeah.
He got on stage, his shape and everything was so impressive. He looked good. And then later on in my life, I would see guys like Mohammed McAway and Frank Zane and these guys sitting next to you didn't look like much with a shirt on.
Yeah.
But when they got on that stage, then I knew what bodybuilding was about, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, okay, now you got to try to combine these two, and
yeah,
you know how the story goes.
Yeah.
But
hey, Glenn, tell that story when you got home after you saw Sergio.
My dad was a railroad guy also, so
I love these things, man.
I started telling my dad about this guy. My dad, in the beginning, he wasn't crazy about bodybuilding. He didn't know a lot about it. He basically told me when I was young, there was a lot of weirdos involved. And now I come to the Junior Mr. Illinois, and that's the first show I entered. He wanted to watch me compete. Man, these girls are everywhere. It changed his whole attitude. Now I'm talking about Oliva, coming home from work, 5, 6 o'clock, we're eating dinner. As soon as dinner's over, I'm still talking. My dad sat in the same chair every night, drinking the same beer, watching the same TV. 10 o'clock at night, he finally said, "Hey, I'm sure this guy was great, but man, enough is enough, dude." I was just so obsessed with him.
Right.
You can hear it in my voice still.
Yeah.
Right.
40 years later, I still, when somebody brings his name up, I'm like, if you've never seen him in person, I can't explain to you.
I know.
And John, you've seen him probably more times than I did, if not just as many, whatever.
Yeah.
The man was just incredible.
Yeah.
Just incredible to look at, man.
It's funny what Glenn was talking about your dad kind of not getting the bodybuilding thing. One of my teenage shows, he probably won. Bastard. My aunt and uncle was on North Side. My aunt and uncle, my mom and dad said, "Hey, Larry's doing the show up by you guys up north. Why don't you come to the show, right?" So they come to the show. And Jewish family, right? So my uncle, the first thing he asked me after watching all this, he goes, "Can you make any money doing this?" I'm like, so here I am, like 17 or 18. I'm just trying, I'm like, "I don't know, Uncle Mike. I'm just trying to do what I like, so I'm doing."
Right.
And I asked my aunt, I said, "Aunt Beulah, honest to God, you don't hear that?" I go, "Yeah, you liking the show?" She, if you're not into bodybuilding,
yeah,
it's a long day, man.
Right.
She looks at me, honest to me, she goes, "This is the most expensive nap I've ever had." I'm like, it's like, I get it. I'm like, all righty, but no. And I got to spend some time with Sergio in Holland when I got to go over there.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he had that thick, he takes the necklace off with the big medallion. He goes, hey, his voice. "Hey, Larry, you wear this when I go work out." He puts it on me. I wasn't expecting it. That thing was like,
yeah, he had pounds of gold on him.
I was
man.
like, holy shit. Yeah.
Pounds of gold on him for sure.
He was cool, man.
Yeah.
He was cool.
I do remember my dad also telling me kind of the same deal as Larry. I was just getting out of high school and I worked for the railroad 10 days after I graduated. And he kept telling me, like, this bodybuilding ain't going to pay the bills. No problem. I got a job. I'm working now every day.
Right.
He just thought, this guy does all this hard railroad work all day. Now he comes home and he's going to the gym all night. He thought I was nuts. He was like, "How do you?" Because he saw the shit I had to do in the daytime, changing ties and rails and all this shit.
Yeah.
And going, to the gym and pumping iron all night. He was like, "All right, if this is what you want to do." But after I brought home a couple trophies, his whole attitude changed. He was like, "Okay, this is what you like to do." He knows I'm working. I got a new car and life is good. And after that, he was all behind me. He'd make a damn roast, cut it in half's for the family and half's for you. What else you need? What are you eating, carbs today or no carbs?
Yeah.
You need today meat or
Yeah.
Yeah, he treated me good for sure. And they were so supportive.
Mm-hmm.
My whole family, my brother and family helped me open that gym and still talk about it. Life was still great,
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you guys, what got you involved in bodybuilding? What was the reason you started it? Like, were you reading the magazines or what got you involved in it?
Shoot, I know at Quads, I was just a teenager, and I think last time we talked, I think I brought this up. Davey and Tommy, they own the place.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone ever competed out of their gym. This little schmuck will probably, let's talk him into it. They go, "Man, you're kind of balanced and like you should try his show and da-da-da-da." And
yeah.
I was
but Larry, what got you into the gym in the first place?
Oh, what got me in the gym? Well, at 5'0" and trying to, playing hockey in high school and getting my ass kicked all the time. I was like, either I quit playing hockey and get my ass kicked, or I put on some muscle and try to balance the table a little bit. So I did, and I was kind of like, it's kind of cool being strong and hitting big dudes. And they would go down instead of me. It's like, you know, then like girls going like, hey, you got to
What age were you, Larry, when you started?
8th grade.
Okay.
8th grade, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I had to bring it early, you know. I knew I wasn't growing much more.
Yeah, now for me, I started very young too. I was cleaning the tavern every day. 4 or 5 houses down from me, there was a nightclub. I went down there to get my mother's cigarettes, and the Greek owned it, waving down the street. So then today you want to clean the parking lot. Okay, that was my first job. From 5th grade till probably I was 20 years old, I cleaned that tavern 7 days a week.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, but I think I was in only the 6th or 7th grade. He bought a car from a woman, and there were some weights in the trunk. And, you know, this Greek was, at that time, I thought he was old. He was probably 40 something.
Yeah.
He gave me the weights, and I took them home, and they were too heavy for me to lift. So, you know, I take some off. I just got one on each side. And
This is 5th grade, dude?
well, no, not 5th grade, but now maybe I'm in 7th grade or something.
No wonder you want all the teenage shows.
But I did start cleaning the tavern in 5th grade, and that's no lie.
Oh, I believe, yeah.
So I started lifting them weights every day. I loved the feeling of it so much. I would go down there every night and just do what I knew how to do. You know, I didn't have any equipment, so I would stand up and I'd do curls. I'd stand up and I'd do presses. I'd lay on the ground in the basement, and I'd try to do benches just on the ground with no bench.
Yeah, I did that too.
And then I started picking up magazines, and I started looking at different exercises.
Right.
And I started buying, you know, some dumbbells, and then I bought some bench, some incline. I started buying more equipment, and
Right.
after a couple of years, I had half the basement filled, and I was able to train down there with 3 or 4 people.
Right.
Leg presses, push downs, pull downs.
But you had leg presses too, Glenn?
Oh, I had the leg press where you laid on your back to push straight up and down.
Yeah,
Those were
yeah.
remember
Yeah.
those?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Those were crazy though.
I had a
Yeah.
squat rack. John, you remember Ford City Mall?
Yeah.
I took a bus there from Chicago Ridge, and I came home with a 50-pound plate under each arm on the bus. And I got home, my dad's like, "Oh my God, why the hell didn't you call me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like you're really gonna drive to Ford City?"
Who does
to come
that
get
stuff
me?
anymore, right, John?
No, nothing.
That is true. That is true love. That
Yeah,
is,
no
Then I
shit.
finally bought an Olympic set. You know, and then I had more and more and
was
more
it from
equipment.
Sears, bro?
No, it wasn't Sears. I got it at.
Remember the Sears sets?
I
Yeah.
drove from Chicago Ridge to Lake in Harlem for whatever deal was my first Olympic set.
Wow.
And then I kept adding equipment until finally I got to the gym where they had everything.
Yeah.
But I was just in love from the first time I picked it up.
What was the first gym you went to, Glenn?
First one was probably that Delt's gym.
Really? No shit. Okay.
I mean, I couldn't think of what else was
Oh.
first.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
there weren't too many gyms around back then, right? I mean, there were few.
I
far
think
between.
at home in 77, 78. And then,
No, the
I don't know if I went to quads for, I would only get to quads on certain occasions
Yeah.
for something different, you know. There was, John, over there in Payless, a racket club off of
Yeah. I remember that.
road.
Yeah. Payless
They
Hills.
also had Universal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would go there usually like every Friday, and you know, I was so used to the free weights. I hit that Universal and just
those
felt
stacks
great.
around, yeah.
Yeah.
that was something different.
All
I
the
just
stacks, yeah.
responded so well,
Yeah.
and that's when I started saying I got to find a club that has everything.
Yeah.
I thought it was Delt's gym. I don't recall any other gym besides Delt's, Hammers,
Well, Chicago
and
Heights.
quads.
Chicago Heights was too far south for you, probably.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a ride where we were at.
Wow.
What's that, John?
That was a ride for, quads gym.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was a good ride for us.
So
Yeah.
for me, that was just like 10, 15 minutes, but there was a powerlifting gym called the Gym.
Yeah, I
And it was
remember that.
Really, I mean, hardcore, hard.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And but that was like my first impression, seeing these big freaking jack dudes, and I was like, wow, that's what I need to be. I'm not getting
Did Ernie Franz own that?
No, Ernie Franz was Joliet.
Oh.
A guy McCooley owned it.
Oh, okay.
This is going.
Yeah, I know the name, but I don't know him.
Yeah, I think there was Gary and Steve McCooley. The guy was crazy, man. They were it was crazy.
So how old were you guys when you did your first show? 16?
I think I was 17.
I was 18 at the Junior
18.
Illinois, but
So you did the Junior Illinois before you did a teenage show?
that was the first show I entered because I didn't know nothing. I seen a poster in the gym, and I'm like, you know what? They're giving 10 trophies away. I'm gonna try this, for the hell of it. And there was 11 contestants, and I took 9th.
You got a trophy though, dude.
I got a trophy. That's what I came for.
Right.
But then it was just a short 6 weeks later. I went to the Metropolitan over there at Leaning Tower.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Norman.
won teenage.
Dude, I was in that show.
I won that teenage there.
That's what
that was 78.
Okay.
So my first show was 77 of November. 78 of, I think it was like March. I think it was March. Anyway, Ray York was in there, who won the Junior Illinois.
Okay.
So now I think I took I took 3rd at the Metropolitan, and Ray York took 4th.
Oh, okay.
So it was like he just won the Junior Illinois. A few months later, I wound up beating him, which I was shocked myself because he was somebody I looked up to at the time, and obviously, how could you not when he wins and you take 9th?
Yeah.
And eventually, he was left in the dust. Not to put the guy down, he went on to do some stuff, but like at the America, he was unheard of, and got into some of the good shows.
He won the Illinois, but then he knew nothing after that.
Right, he won the Illinois, maybe a regional, Midwest, this and that. I don't remember, but once we hit the national level, he wasn't in the placements ever,
Right.
So.
How about you, John? You seen many of the guys you used to compete with? What are they up to?
No, not really. I mean, my buddy just ran into Chuck Sano. He said he's looking pretty good. He's still a fireman. Yeah.
Yeah, he was always one of my good friends. Besides training over there, I did train there, but that was years later at Chuck's gym.
Yeah.
Me and Chuck used to work together doing an asbestos job.
Oh, yeah.
So we would drive together, take turns driving or whatever. And
Okay.
he had that nice purple Harley.
Yeah.
And one day he's like, hey, we get done working. My wife and kids were here in Phoenix, and I'm home working in Chicago. Chuck gave me the keys for like a day or two. And I'm like, okay, he's a better friend than I thought he was, And, but we were pretty good buddies for a long time over there, just between the gym and contests and then working together.
Did he take over Delts? Was he Delts?
No, he opened up a USA gym.
That's right.
Bridgeview, Chicago Ridge, right there on the border.
I forgot.
After Hammers closed.
Oh, okay. So, and that wasn't far from Hammers, right?
No, it wasn't far at all.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't. I don't think I ever made it to that club either.
It's been a long time since I stopped there years back to say hi to him and stuff, and I haven't heard from him or seen him in a while.
Yeah.
Last time I was in there, though, I was trying a couple of things in the gym, and I just thought, man, he's got to update some of this equipment,
Oh yeah, he's got the 1980s equipment.
He's got the real dinosaur stuff over there.
I bet. That shit really hurts your joints.
Yeah. My joints hurt enough. I don't need his help.
Right. The first show I did was in fact, Glenn, you were in the show. The 79, I was in the Teenage Chicago, and I think you were in the Mr. Chicago, and your buddy Joe Schroeder won the whole thing. So,
okay, yeah, I remember that real well, man.
Yeah, I was 16. That was my first show, and I read in the entry form that you couldn't use any oil. So I thought they meant no tanning stuff. So I went in white as a ghost. It was December of 79 in Chicago. I'm white as a ghost, 16 years old. And I remember they did the pre-judging at Midwest Fitness Center. So they didn't do it at the high school. They did it at the gym. They moved all the equipment out of the way. The judges sat in folding chairs, and we stood up against the wall.
Yeah, I remember something about that too now.
Yeah.
What was it called, John?
Midwest?
Chicagoland. Teenage Chicagoland.
Yeah, no, I remember the Teenage Chicagoland, but they put it at the Midwest Gym?
Yeah, Midwest Fitness Center, I think it was called, yeah.
Where was that at? That was in Rockford, was it?
No, it was Chicago, south side of Chicago. I can't remember the
Yeah, I
street.
should know that one.
Yeah, and then remember they threw something in the mall there at Ford City one time?
I saw you in that one. Yeah, I was walking through the mall with my dad. I saw you.
What kind of shape you in? And I'm like, when's the show? Like, oh, this week or like next week or something. I'm like, all right, I'll be there.
All right, we're good.
But I was hearing rumors they were going to have, or maybe that was a different. Oh, I think the one that they tried filming me with a bunch of business was that Elite Mr. Illinois.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Lance Strayer, Mario, all the Chicago guys are going to be there. And
Right.
I just love to compete. So I'm like, all right, well, fine. I'm going to get ready and enter this Elite Illinois. And
Right.
obviously Lance wasn't in it. Mario wasn't in it. And
I don't remember hearing about what was that?
There was only like 3 guys in it, right, Glenn?
I don't recall how many guys were in there. I do recall
Thaddeus Hawkins, was he one of them?
probably.
Wow, that's a name. Dude, you're pulling names. I love it.
Yeah, that's one of Schroeder's buddy. Joe's still friends with that dude.
Thaddeus Hawkins. Wow.
Yeah, Joe, if Joe trains on the north side, he still runs into that guy.
Wow, no shit. Wow.
Yeah.
I just love when you pull names like that. Man, there's a few other names too I was trying to remember.
Man, when I was in that Teenage Chicago, I think there was like 12 or 13 guys in a short class. And so Joe won it. Joe Schroeder won it. I mean, Bart Woods got second. Remember Bart Woods? Black guy with the big chest.
Yeah.
So I was in, huh?
You remember that one dude that used to pop his like lats out? He had like dislocated lats.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if man, I would know his name if I heard it.
White guy or black guy?
No, he's a black guy. He'd always take second to me.
Okay.
And basically they were telling him like, dude, that's not a muscle thing. They didn't want him to do that.
Yeah.
But it looked impressive as hell on stage. But that's all I don't want to say that's all he had, but that he had them lats that, people would freak out over.
Yeah.
They were trying to tell him, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. And I'm trying to think of
For some reason, I think of Bill Busby, but remember Bill Busby?
Yeah.
Good dude, lean guy.
Yeah, I remember the name too, but I don't, I can't place the face. How about you guys remember Sammy Willis, the little black guy?
Oh, yeah. Good physique. Yeah. Yeah.
You remember him, Larry?
I should.
You
Real
should.
thick. Yeah, real thick.
He was in your class for everything. He was a little older than us. So,
Maybe that's why I didn't see him.
Yeah, he comes through.
You were doing the shows above, and I was just always stuck to teenage. I didn't jump. I wasn't as good. I wasn't like Glenn,
Well, what happened to me after I won that teenage Metropolitan? The AAU told me, you know what? We understand you're a new guy, but by me taking third in the Metropolitan, that supposedly disqualifies me for all the juniors. So they said, we can't tell you, as long as you're a teenager, you can compete teenager. But do yourself a favor. Go do all the teenage stuff, stick with the juniors, and then go later on to the Mr. So I didn't enter no more Misters till once I won some junior stuff. Then I thought, okay, now I started going into the Mr. deal, but
Yeah.
I love competing so much in 77, 78.
Yeah.
What was it, Teenage Illinois, 78 or not?
79.
So that was my last teenage show. And I thought myself, maybe I could I give the Teenage America a shot? Because I've been watching this shit for a couple years.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm quite ready, but boy, I think I would really like to try this.
Yeah.
It was always in freaking June, I want to say.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned, the next year, it was right after my birthday.
Oh,
My birthday's July 17th, and I want to say the damn thing was July 22nd. And I'm like, you got to be shitting me, man. So I couldn't enter it because I just turned 20.
And that was 79, Glenn?
Yeah.
Lee Haney won it that year.
Haney won it? Teenage Illinois?
Yeah. America. He won the America in 79.
Teenage America?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
No,
funny.
Could have been up against Lee Haney. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't think about it because if I'd have gone there, going to Haney, it's like,
Yeah, but at that time, he was just on his way up,
yeah,
too.
but still, I
Oh,
used to
yeah,
think
yeah.
that I weighed.
But he always looked good. I mean,
Yeah.
just like Coleman. I used to see him and stuff when I was younger. He was
Really?
a tall guy, looked good,
Yeah.
but he just kept packing on more solid muscle
Yeah.
year after
Oh.
year after year after year and never ended until he destroyed himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
Coleman. I thought you were talking about Haney, because Haney still seemed like he's in pretty good shape and
Yeah.
healthy and all
Yeah,
that.
he looks great.
Yeah.
Healthy, yeah.
Yeah.